My name is Len, and welcome to my brief video on how to purchase a home from Morningside Funding with no credit check. All right, let me tell you first what Morningside Funding is. Morningside Funding is a group of investors based out of Texas who have been buying up properties from a government agency called Fannie Mae. Now, this is inventory that's been lying around. So Morningside is filling a need by picking up these properties that are strewn throughout different areas that no one's living in. No one's purchased them. They've been sitting. So Morningside Funding has captured them. Now, what Morningside can do at this point in time is demolish the properties, or they could sell empty lots. They could fix them up and sell them. But what they've chosen to do was give individuals an opportunity to go ahead and fix them up for themselves and make it so that anybody, any hardworking individual, can go ahead and purchase a home. It simply only takes a very small amount of money down and a little bit of elbow grease, and you're off. So let me tell you that the majority of the people who purchase homes from Morningside are either on fixed incomes, or they're first-time investors. They don't want to take too much money out of their pocket to get started, or they're adventurous people who just like to go in and for as little money out of their pocket as they can, they like to gain control of a property, fix it up, and maybe get somebody else living in there and make a little bit of profit for themselves. These are the types of people who pick up these properties, but anybody can own one. A lot of individuals who come to me, they have a story, and well, actually everybody has a story. They've lost their home, they've had horrible medical bills, or they've been foreclosed on, or all kinds of things. And I've been doing this for as long as I have now. I hear all the stories, and it's not necessarily pleasant to listen to all the stories, to be honest with you, and I'm sure you have your own story. Despite the story and everything that goes behind, why you're trying to purchase a home this particular way, it doesn't necessarily matter to me, because I can get you into a property with only $2,000 down with no credit check. It's just the way it is. I can do that. Now, I mentioned these properties have been sitting for a while, so I don't know what condition they are in currently. As a matter of fact, I could have had someone in the house yesterday, and then today the condition could be totally different, since there was no one residing in the home last night. And I've had that case. Unfortunately, I've had the case where I've sold a house to a couple, and in the process of getting the contract back to them, somebody had gone in and stolen the air conditioner. Of course, we rectified all that, but it happens when homes are vacant. They get vandalized. So the way you'll find out the condition of a property is to go to the property and look. I have houses in 12 different states, so it's physically impossible for me to go to each one of these houses and see what condition they're in and then keep up on them every single day. It's just not possible. What we do is just hire crews called preservation companies who go and they cut the grass, and they'll look and notice if anything is strange. If any broken windows are there, they'll board them up. But they don't go in and keep track of how many refrigerators and freezers and stoves and things like that. We don't know what the appliances are like. We don't know if they're there. We don't know if the furnace is there. They may or they may not be there. So it's up to you to go out to the property and take a look. You're always very, very welcome to hire a professional inspector to go out and check on the different things of the house. Check for termites or mold, or check for anything that you feel is necessary to be checked for. You're always entitled to do that, and several people do. So how the program works is simple. You go over to the website. You go to, I have a couple of websites, but you go to investmentpropertiesondemand.com, and at investmentpropertiesondemand.com it has a brief description of the program when you land on the page, and it tells you about the financing and everything, and I'll go over that in just a moment as well. But there's a blue line across the top of the page, and it has all these states, state abbreviations, and these are all the different states that I have properties in. The majority of the properties currently are in Florida. So you would go to click on the Florida button, and the page comes up to all the Florida properties. And right now, as you look at it, it's listed as the most recent home that was posted on the website. But you can sort this list of properties in any way you would like. And the one that I recommend is sorting it by city in alphabetical order. That makes it very simple. So therefore, if you're looking for Jacksonville, you can just go alphabetically, where's Jacksonville. But anyway, there's a little map. Once you're on the Florida page or any other state page, once you're on that page, you'll see a little map. And just below it, on the right-hand side of it, there'll be a little drop box, and you click on that drop box, and the last item on the list says city. You just click on city, and it rearranges everything into alphabetical order by city. And then you just go through the pages. There's several pages. I must say that if you're on a cell phone, most cell phones are not able to scroll through my pages. They can see the first page only, and they can't get through to the other pages. So therefore, you would need to be on a regular laptop or desktop computer to be able to do that. But once you find a house that you would like to take a look at, all you do is give me a call, and or you shoot me an email right from the website, or you can give me a call, and I'll be posting the phone number here on this video. I'll let you know if the house is still available or not, because sometimes houses have contracts on them that aren't completely finished yet. I would let you know that, so you don't waste your time driving out to a house. But anyway, give me a call, and then I'll have you drive out to the house, call me when you're there, and I'll give you the code to a lockbox, which is on the front door of the house. It's usually a 4-digit or 3-letter code, and when you're there, I would give that to you. You'll open it up, and there's a key inside, and that'll get you into the house. And that'll get you in. You can inspect it and do whatever you like to do. When you leave, you just put the key back into the box, close it up, and jumble the numbers or letters. And that'll keep it safe for the next person who wants to see. If you would like, from that point, to go ahead and make an offer on the properties, I'll give you some tips on how to do this. You would give me a call. Very, very simple. We'll discuss it over the telephone. What I'll do at that point in time is I'll give you my direct email address, and I'll ask you to just give me a list of what's wrong with the property. That way I can work with my partners to get you the best deal. We'll also discuss over the telephone whether you are going to do any repairs on the property or if you want me to do some repairs. If you're going to do repairs, that'll help me to negotiate the price down lower for you. If you want me to do repairs, of course, that's either going to keep the price where it is or it may raise it a little bit. Just to let you know, things that I will not put into a property is anything that's copper or any type of heating or air conditioning system. I won't put them into a home because those are the things that are stolen very, very easily. And unfortunately, in this particular business, people do walk away from homes after they purchase them. And when they walk away and leave them vacant, the air conditioner, because it has copper in it, disappears. Copper wiring out of houses and copper pipes out of houses disappear. Unfortunately, local vandals, people who need money for drugs or whatever go in and they see a vacant house and they steal it. They steal these things and they sell them for a couple of $100 and they're satisfied. And meanwhile, it takes me thousands of dollars to replace. So those types of things I won't replace. So anyway, we'll negotiate a quick price, and once we come to terms with that, I'll send you over to my other website, which is called Kedo, KEDO, LLC.com. And Kedo is actually the management branch for Morningside Funding. So when you're at Kedo, this is very simple. You can fill out the application there. You'll fill out an application, then you're also going to email me back a copy of your driver's license so I can verify who you say you are. proof of your income, so I know that you're actually making the money that you are substantial enough to make your payments. And we'll do a background check. And the biggest thing is we want to make sure that you haven't been evicted, at least within the last 12 months, and that you have the proof of income. So that process takes maybe 2 or 3 days. Once I have you approved, I'm going to email you back a contract. I'll send it right to whatever email address you give to me. I'll give you an instruction sheet. It tells you, get your certified funds, either a cashier's check or money order. You're going to take the contract and you're going to sign everything, and then you're going to ship it back to me either by United States Postal Service, which is who I recommend, or FedEx or UPS, and you're going to overnight them. And we're not open on Saturdays and Sundays, so you don't have to bother to open overnight on a Friday, because it won't get there until Monday anyway. Just as a tip to you. But anything that has a tracking number, because you're going to be sending a check, so you're going to want to have a tracking number. You're going to want to verify that it's getting to where it's going. All right, I'm going to want to track it, make sure that it gets there. Once it gets there, I will verify that it has arrived, and I'll give you a call or send you an email and let you know that it did arrive. All right. One thing I want to cover real quickly is, you're never going to meet me personally. I'm never going to go to a house and sign the documents with you. You're never going to sit down at a table like you would do in a lot of instances, and that makes a lot of people nervous, and I totally understand that. So I'm going to cover that briefly. First of all, to be able to commit a scam to sell a house that is not yours is very, very easy to do, because people have done it to me, so I know. It's very, very simple for an individual to be driving through a neighborhood, sees a sign out front of a house, and puts his sign there too. Maybe he takes my sign down, and then you call him, right? Meanwhile, he's already called me. He's already looked at the house. He's already gotten the combination from me. John. This guy John calls me up one day and says, "Hey, I'd love to see your house on 13th Street." I give him the code. He goes in, he looks at it, takes my signs down, puts his sign up. People call him. He says, "Yeah, I'm with Morningside Funding, and I'll get you some papers." And it's very, very simple to do. All right, but you'll know at the last minute the check is not being made out to Morningside Funding. It's being made out to John, whatever his name is, whatever the scammer's name is. So, the way I'm doing it here, I'm going to tell you how you can make sure this is not a scam. The first thing you do is you pick any house on my website, or any houses. Pick 5 or 10 of them, 100 of them, however many you want to take a look at. And you look them up on the county records, and you'll see every single home is owned free and clear by Morningside Funding. You'll see a purchase date on there. You'll see how much we paid for the home. All right, it's all in county records. It all exists. So that makes it really, really simple. I'll tell you the players that you'll deal with. You'll deal with myself. My name is Len, and I'll do all the communicating back and forth. There are other people who also market the property, mainly a wonderful lady out of Arizona named Pam, and there are a couple of others as well, Bryce as well. And then these are the people we interface with. Also, who will answer my phone for me during the day is Mel. Generally, Mel answers the phone. He answers basic questions for most people. If you're talking to anybody else, then there may be something a little fishy. All you have to do is just, hey, do you know who Len is? Or do you know who Bryce is? If they don't, they're not with my company. But anyway, since you can see who owns the properties, Morningside Funding, you're going to notice that when you go to purchase the home, you're going to be making out a check to Morningside Funding. It's going to be mailed to Morningside Funding, and you go ahead and Google Morningside Funding. You'll see it has 2 owners. It's John Keaton and Matthew Donahue. It's public record. It's right there on the internet. The internet is awesome. It's got a wealth of information. Just use it. I think it's funny that people ask me, how do I know you're not a scam? I'm like, if you're asking me, then you I don't know. You go up to a criminal and say, "Hey man, are you a criminal?" They're going to say no. But you have to be a little creative. But I'll give you some tips here. This is how you do it. Just verify the owner of record. Make sure that the check you're handing over is to the people who actually own the home. You'll see in public records that there are no mortgages on any of these properties. They're all owned free and clear. You can see if there's any back taxes or not, and you'll find out there are none. Everything is kept current. All right, it's very, very simple. Now, just real briefly on the financing, it's very, very simple. What we do is a 30-year lease option, 30. That's like the length of a standard mortgage on a home. So it's $2,000 down, and then for 30 years, you have a fixed number. Say the number is $60,000, right? And your payment on that would be $600. These two numbers are not related to each other, like in a standard mortgage. In a standard mortgage, they have an interest rate, and if you have $60,000 at a 10% interest rate, then you're paying so much interest every single month. We don't have that. We have a sale price, which is based on local market values, and we have a monthly payment, which is a lease payment. Okay, it's called a lease payment or a rent payment, and that payment is based on local rents, lower than local rents though. So you can buy one house or lease option my house. You'll find that it's less expensive to lease the house that I have than it is to rent the house next door. And at the end, this is going to be yours. It's very, very simple. So here's how this $60,000 gets paid down. So we just take $60,000 over 30 years. And in 30 years, there are 360 months. So the total sale price divided by 360 gives you how much money every month out of your monthly payment is being applied towards the principal. Okay, so in the $60,000 case, I think it's $166 or $133.66, something like that. That much out of the $600 monthly payment applies towards the principal. So that's how much equity is being built in the property. So it's roughly around $140 a month. So after 10 years, you have $14,000 worth of equity built into that property. So in 10 years, if you wanted to pay off the property, it wouldn't cost you $60,000 to buy it. It would cost you $60,000 minus the $14,000 that you've already paid towards it. Hopefully that makes sense. It's also in writing on my landing page on the website. I'm just trying to keep this as brief as possible. It turns out to be, if you look at it, it's a lot of money. You're saying, $60,000, whatever, 30 years, that's like, $150,000. Well, it's that way on any mortgage that you purchase. Any mortgage, any car payment that you make, you're not going and buying a $20,000 car off the lot, and in 8 years, you didn't pay $20,000, you paid like $42,000. It's just financing. So don't get freaked out by that big number. Look at the big picture. It is the cost of financing. And in this case, you're getting a really good deal because you didn't have to come in with a good credit. You didn't have to come in with any credit at all. So anybody can walk in, and as long as you have proof of income, you're in. It's just pretty darn simple. As long as you haven't been evicted and you've been a terrible tenant to other people. Because the one thing I don't want is I don't want you to leave. I don't want to have to go and market and find another body or another family or what have you to come into the house. I'm only making $2,000 down. Usually on owner financing, I'll be very, very honest with you because I've owner financed properties and I've been dealing in real estate for a very long time. Usually when you owner finance a property, the mindset is I'm going to lease you this property for 3 years. And I'm going to want from you about 20% down up front. So I'm going to want $20,000. You're going to have to come up with a big chunk of dough at the beginning. And within 3 years, you're going to need to have your credit repaired. And here's the thing. People don't repair their credit. I'm sorry, they don't. Some people try it. It's such a vague and ambiguous area. It's so hard to confront because it has to deal with finances. And these things are just hard to confront for people. People don't repair their credit. Let me clarify that. 99% of the people don't repair their credit. Okay? So in a lease option deal, In 3 years, you're going to need to refinance that property or move, or come in with another $10,000 to renew that option, or $20,000, whatever the owner wants. If he gets a new person in, he markets the property, he gets another $20,000 up front. It's great. That's lovely. Okay, that's amazing. It's an amazing deal. But that's just a win situation for the investor or the owner of the property. That's all that is. It's not necessarily a win for you, because you got to come out with a huge outlay of money up front. And this guy has the ability to take this property back from you in 3 years, and he's banking on it. He wants another big chunk of dough out of you. In our case, we're not doing that. Here we have a fixed number, which is continually every month getting lower and lower and lower. It has a definite end at the end of 30 years. It has no prepayment penalty, so you can pay it off anytime along that you want to go. It allows you to build the house, create the house however you like, as long as, if you're doing things which need to have permits, we need to pull permits. You'll find that the property, as long as it's under this lease option, stays in Morningside Funding's name. The title does not transfer until you're paid in full. So when you go to get a permit, you would need us to sign that permit for you. It's very simple. You just send us an email and tell us, who to contact within the city, and we'll have them email or fax us over the documents, and we'll get them signed and go forward. We encourage you improving our homes. God bless you. Improve them. That's a great deal. I think that's about all I have for you at this particular point in time. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. You can always send me an email, and I'll put those things up on the video. You'll be able to see those. So you can give me a call or send me an email anytime. Anyway, so thank you for listening. I hope it wasn't too long-winded, and happy shopping. Thank you.